Hey guys, this is Simon, and this week I want to talk to you about gear. It's my first video on gear, and I think it's because it's gonna save you a lot of time if you just try to set up at home. This video is about me being angry and finding a way to save 30 to 45 minutes each time I want to make a video. I squeezed all my setup into a one stand setup. So I often got annoyed at watching YouTube videos where I saw the setups of everyone like being so beautiful and being like well lit and everything. And it just makes sense because YouTubers usually have like their whole home as a YouTube studio. But what I wanted to make possible or do in my case is to have my setup mobile. Because I never know where I'm gonna shoot my videos. Like right now I have, like you can see, I have a different background and I want to make sure I'm ready to go as fast as possible. I eventually stumbled on the videos of Nolan Malt on Think Media. He squeezed the whole 3-stand setup, exactly like I had before, into a 1-stand setup. And the reason he did that was because he had such a small space to record in. If he wanted to film something, he had to remove everything from the space and set up everything for film, which I understand is kind of annoying. So how much does it cost and what does it consist of? Let me just enumerate the list of gear that I've got to build this thing right here. First off, make sure you get a camera and a wide-angle lens. It can be any camera. Personally, I have EOS R with 24 to 105, but I'm switching it for a wider angle right now. Here's what you would need to recreate this setup. You would need a tripod ball head to put a camera on and set up the horizon in order for it to be leveled. You'd need an heavy-duty light stand because the cheap light stand from newer on Amazon, they're just too light to have the whole setup on the stand. You would need a clamp. You would need a 6-inch extension arm for the mic. You would need a shotgun mic, a wireless receiver. I prefer the wireless receiver to the cable because there's no like tangling of the cable behind the camera. That's just personal preference because I already had the receiver before. But you can easily swap just the $200 receivers for just a cable if you want. Then I have my Casar LED. It's this little 12-inch tube light that's honestly, it's perfect for me. It's not the ideal soft light or like you can see on YouTube, like the huge aperture dome. But personally, for $100, works like a charm. You will need also 2 spigot. The spigot are the thing that you plug into the extension arm. The other thing that I liked is the little plate to drop your iPhone on. I also bought a iPhone stand. So when I just want to look at my notes right when I'm recording, I can just move my eyes a bit and look down and I can see the notes. So here's a few perks for this setup and why I'm crazy in love with this. First of all, I never have to disassemble it. It just stays like that. If I want to take pictures, I unclip the Joby head and then I just switch the lens and go and I'm ready to go to take pictures. The other thing that I found as an accidental perk is that it makes setting up the background of your videos so much easier. You can just move one stand and you basically have a 100% different studio setup. The last perk, I have already talked about it, but I think it's super underrated. Like the friction that you have when you need to do something, just getting started. I've heard about this millions of times. Like if you want to get started working out, just make sure you set up your gear before you go to bed. So when you wake up, you jump in your shirt and shoes and just you get out and run. So it's basically the same thing with content creation. Most people don't do content creation because it's too hard to set up. They don't have good lighting, they don't have the good camera, they don't have a good background or a good a good sponsor. And they're all like, fuck it, I'm not gonna do anything because it's too long, blah, blah, blah. Excuses, right? But this setup prevents everything. The only thing I need to do is prepare a script, get ready, look at it, press record, and everything is done by like 15 to 20 minutes. And just knowing that it doesn't take that much time to make the content you want to make, it's going to enable your brand to explode way faster than you thought it would. All right, to wrap this up, I think this setup is useful for anyone that has a small YouTube space or a big YouTube space. It's just a good way to get started creating content. Cheap, fast, well, not that cheap, but it's just a great way to start making content. Cheers, have a good one. I just want to say, if you like dark coffee, it's amazing.